Hi there, it's Sally from Rickety Snippets here, and a while ago I made a very short film of me making this fairy door, and a couple of you got in contact to ask if I'd make a longer tutorial showing how to put it all together. So I'm going to do that today using a different door. So all the images that I'm using are printables from the Rickety Snippets shop, but you can use absolutely anything you like to make your own version. So you could cut out a door from a magazine, print one out from the internet, or maybe even photograph your own front door. That could be fun. So I've printed this door onto 160 GSM cardstock, which is quite thin still, but it does hold its shape very well. So if you are using anything a bit flimsier, you might want to back it with a bit of card to make it a bit stronger. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the door out, and I need a cutting mat because we're going to use a knife. Just cut this in half first. So I'm going to grab my craft knife or scalpel, and I'm going to cut the door with that. So where I want to cut all the way along the top here and all the way down this side and then along the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to begin at the top. This is a curved line, so I just want to follow the edge of that curve. And what you're trying to do, you just don't want anything too jerky. If it helps, you can kind of turn the paper as you go, leaving your knife in the same place. A little bit like if you're sewing, you're moving your fabric around, and then I'm just going to do a straight line all the way down that edge, and then spin it again. I don't think I went down far enough. I'll go down a little bit more, spin it, and then cut that final bottom piece like that. Then it should all open up like that. And then what we can do is just put a score line between those two cuts, so from the top of the door to the bottom, which will give us a nice defined fold when we fold it out. I'm just going to fold it back the other way as well because I don't want it to sit too proudly. So there we are, it's sitting quite well. And another thing, I know some people don't really like these knives. So if you wanted to, you could just begin by cutting somewhere an easy cut, so along a straight edge. So you could perhaps cut along there, making a big enough cut so that you could then get your scissors into it and then cut the rest around. So that's an alternative. You get a much better cut with the knife, but it'll still work with some scissors. So the next thing I'm going to do is ink around the edges of the doors. The door. There we go, so on the door and the doorpost, and then I'm also going to put some ink on the back of the door. So it's not really stark and white, but you can put anything you like on there really. You could print something, a texture or something, onto the back before you start. Or do a drawing, draw the back of the door, that'd be nice. There you go. So again, if you're trying to keep that flat, you could have done the inking from the back just to keep it a bit smoother. And then, so you then decide what you want for your inside. So on this one, or I should say as well, so this one is a double door. So if you've got a double door, it's exactly the same process. But for this one, I cut all the way along the top, all the way along the bottom, and then another line straight down the middle. So for this one, I used a kind of fairy castle interior. So you could find an interior picture that you liked maybe, or it could be that you just use the door and you put it straight down onto an existing junk journal, so it just reveals or junk journal page, it reveals what's inside. Or you can literally have anything you like behind it. It might be a surprise, you want to hide behind it. So what I'm going to use is just this page of, it's kind of a collage sheet of textures, because I thought, they're flowery, so I thought it might be quite nice to have a kind of secret garden behind the door. So I think that'd be quite nice like that. Okay, so I might want to use other pieces of this. I'm just going to mark where the edge is there of the door, or of the whole piece, so I don't cut it too small. Yeah, okay, I think I'm just going to cut it there. There we are, so we have that peeping out, and I think I'm going to put a pocket on it too. So I'm going to cut out this piece. And lay that underneath and then have a look, see where I want it. Yeah, I'm going to put some ink on that as well, on the top of the pocket. I'm not worrying about the other edges, because I'm actually going to stick those right behind the door, so that it doesn't get too bulky, so that the door doesn't shut. So if the edges are stuck, then it should sit quite nicely, quite flush. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that in place. So I'm just going to treat it like a regular pocket and put some glue along this edge, along the bottom, and along that edge. And then I think it was about there that I wanted it. There a bit. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I've stuck that down wrong, so the ink is at the bottom. Just prise it off, put a bit of ink at the top. There we are. Okay, so that's all great. And then, so I'm going to put glue all over this piece, but not too near the edge. So I want to kind of trace where the edge is, but I'm leaving probably about 1/2 centimetre all the way around. Not over anything. So it's up to you. You can go right up to the edge. The nice thing, if you do leave a gap like that, it leaves a little bit of room that you can tuck some ephemera behind the door. So that's quite nice. And then I'm going to pick that up, get all sticky, and then just line it up where I want it. And smooth it down. And then you can cut the whole piece out, so I've got some nice crisp edges. If you wanted to, you could spend a bit more time making that piece at the back smaller. Makes it slightly less bulky. There we are. So that's ready. Just you can stick that into a junk journal, or wherever you would like it. And then you can put some bits of ephemera, so you can tuck a little piece of ephemera behind there now because you haven't glued right up to the edge. So that would be quite nice actually in there, wouldn't it? That side. Here we are. And I'm just going to cut out a little bit more of this paper. And stick that in there too. Just that. There we go. So a little pocket within the door. And little, looks like a secret garden. So that's it. I really hope you have fun creating your own door. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.